Hello, everybody. So, as you may see in the title, we are going to be talking about the bomber. We're going to talking about how he gets treated by the fandom and why he's a decent tower instead of being called the worst tower. So, the fandom's opinion about the bomber is that it might get praised by its AoE and its immediate qualk. But the thing that kind of makes it bad is the fact that it gets outmatched by most towers as the game progresses, and the fact that most of the people don't even use him in the mid to late game in the game progression. So let me talk about its strengths first. Its strengths is that it can deal with early game towers, and if it's paired up with Freezer, it can do better results because the Freezer can freeze the enemies that the bomber can let his bombs to a lot of crowd control. Its weaknesses, however, is that it can be very much countered by deflector enemies, which only come in yellow mode, by the way. Which, if you don't know, deflectors are explosive resistant, and it is ultimately outperformed by other crowd control towers later on. And also, the fan also says in order to get the best value out of it, you either need to get it to level 4 or 5 so that the bomber could actually be pretty useful from the fandom's opinions, of course. And also, the bomber has been stuck at the bottom, being paired up with other towers like the Tower, the Ray Gunner, and the Snowballer, who freaking sucks. Now, it has been proven by gameplay to actually almost being able to beat yellow mode, which is kind of crazy, by the way, and I'm speaking of this from personal experience. But the bomber can simply get outclassed by many other splash damage towers such as Rocketeer, Wizard, and the best one yet, the General, which is why the bomber is usually seen as not a very much good splash damage tower, sadly. And also, most beginners just use him only for a little bit of time during their beginnings, and then when they get better towers, they just never try to use him again for anything, which is usually why you don't see him in most strategies, my guy. And that's basically all I want to say about the fandom's opinion. Now we're going to get to my opinion about the bomber. Now, my opinion about the bomber is that I think it's kind of a good tower instead of a bad tower. And for the people who hate the bomber, I'm sorry if I made y'all overly mad, but this is just my opinion, so please don't try to get very angry for the reasons I'm about to say. Now, the bomber might be pretty useless, but with his masteries, this man becomes a full-on crowd control demon, my guy. Like, I'm not joking. You can literally put this man on a test on Yomo solo, with him and Mr. Tix. And if you have his full masteries, he could beat the Road Rager and barely beat the Juggernaut as well. And I'm not joking. I'm saying this from
personal experience, buddy.
And my second reason for this is that this guy is pretty cheap for the damage he can do. Now he might do 25 DPS, but at least he's kind of useful for the early game at least. And my third reason, from personal experience again, this guy was able to nearly solo yellow mode by himself. This man was able to beat most bosses, like the general mechanic road rager. Heck, he was even able to deal with the deflectors, which we nearly died to, by the way. And also, my fourth and last reason is that this man can do pretty good for the yellow mode early game in the release party revenge map, whatever it was called, in my general opinion. And that's actually about it. So that's the entire video, folks. If there's anything you want to disagree or agree with me about, just tell me about it in the comments. And also make sure to like and subscribe so that when a new video comes out, you get notifications so that you can watch it yourself. Now, until then, people, see y'all later.